Cancer, how you doing, guys? So we are here to do your 15th until the 31st of January. So I've actually just got a new deck, and it's the Moment Before, and I haven't really used it, and I haven't had time, and I don't normally I don't get the cards out, open them up, and then start looking through the pictures. I just start to use the cards. So I did start to do your reading, but I'm such a perfectionist to try and get things right that I kind of backed out and started to do it. So then I've decided to keep the cards, but just to do it again very briefly and quickly for you in case you were interested. That's just me trying to be a perfectionist. So take no notice of me, Cancer. Okay, so we're looking at the Moment Before. But we are going to look into your 15th until the 31st of January, okay? But just as a brief, just for me to get used to these cards, the first card out that you had before was the Nine of Wands, okay? The Nine, and then you got the Six of Cups, Leo energy, the Sun, the Nine of Coins, the Page of Swords, and the Emperor, okay? So what I was picking up that possibly happened through this is that someone just hesitated, very slightly hesitated about approaching something, because there was possibly someone that said something to do with an offence and they took an offence to it. And there could have been a breakup where you were just about to complete, but it felt like if you approach one another, that nobody knows really what's going to be said to each other, and that this could have a lot to do with control and narcissism, because it is a gaslighting card. If a lot of you are going through something very strong, but very you break up a lot and then you're back together a lot, and you break up and you're back together a lot. So there is a lot of working through control issues, and you possibly were going through that, where there's a period of I don't quite know how to say this, because I feel like there's a defence, but I'm picking up for some of you that it was a defence lawyer or something that might have been, because it's definitely to do with a child, you see, and family and children. So the younger child here, so if you had or have got or just had a young baby together, okay, or you've got a child physically, there would have been possible arguments to do with one, maybe having to clean up one's act for the kids. And I think that because this would be cleaning up one's act to become healthy again and looking after their health, stop drinking if there was drinking, drugs, alcohol, all that kind of thing, because this could be herbal remedies and things. Okay, so I'm picking up that if there was any kind of something to do with alcohol or drugs or something like that, I think someone took an offence to, if someone was trying to get clean, okay, that I think you did have that through your reading before. Yeah, sorry, so here we go. You did have that, right, Cancer? So I think someone's really trying to get clean, but what happened is that you're doing well, but I think that what caused this separation was that, because someone is trying to clean up their act, but I think somebody possibly said that, well, you're going to have to, because this Emperor here has stood up and literally started to say he's no longer sitting back, and he actually stood up and said something. So there wasn't a defence or a defence lawyer or something that was seeked out, but they would have said something as well. So basically, whoever this is physically said that you need to sort out your health and you need to sort things out for the kids. If you've got children together, they more than likely come across that, they were I don't think they was afraid to say something. I just think it was just said abruptly, and it caused some kind of someone to really start thinking a lot about their life, and that it is there, someone's really, really trying to look after their health completely for the kids and the family and trying to do well. But I think that before of that is pretty much what caused a separation, if there was one. But I don't think it was a long-term separation. I think it was just an argument that arose because people were fearing, well, what's the other person going to say, or act in front of the family, because there was some kind of an enactment that happened with the family as well. Okay, that sort of would have been a Leo that came back to the family as well here. This Leo would have come back to the family to do something or seek support from the family as well, okay? But there would have been some kind of fight or control that would have been going on in that family dynamic as well, maybe, okay? But the Page of Swords is wanting to know something as well. This Emperor still wanted to know, and I really think I'm picking this up as the children that were involved, or a message that was said to someone, but it might have come across as childish maybe to someone, because it can relate to a child, or it can relate to a brother or sister. But I think that there was someone that said you're going to have to look after your health. If you want to look after me and you want to look after the family and your children, then someone's going to have to clean up their act, and I wouldn't know who that is, Cancer. But that's pretty much what I'm picking up through this. It's just a very brief, quick reading, just so I can get used to these cards. If that does relate to you, please say something in the comments section so I know. If not, and it's just not, then okay. So we're going to look into, and we'll try and relate these to both. But we'll look into the 15th until the 31st. So Cancer. So you got Virgo. That actually came out through these cards, and it was there, okay, before. But Virgo. So there's someone that is definitely looking for something that's loyal. They want something loyal, okay, but they could be going through momentary lapse of reason. They're trying to reason, but they're trying to find their own reason, of their own purpose. Leo energy here, Leo, I said Leo, but Virgo energy is definitely trying to find some kind of like reason, okay? They're still seeing loyalty in the connection, but they're trying to still find themselves and find a reason for this connection to keep happening. Let's see, so Cancer, someone was going to read this. So you've got love, so the Queen of Cups and also the Six of Pentacles. So there's love, Virgo, Queen of Cups, Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces, okay? So there's love there, but there's an equality of an exchange. Someone's exchanging some kind of like a work, trying to go back to work and trying. This is also medication as well. I'm really picking this up again through your reading. This is medication being served to someone. So this is either a servant or a server or someone that owns a shop. But I'm also picking up having to look after someone that could suffer through some kind of like mild depression for you, okay? Because this can be like a mild depression energy, and that someone seeks medication for, or will do, or still ongoing medication. Because I'm picking up dedication is all you need, but someone's dedicated to keep doing that, okay, for medicine as well. Because this is a medicine man. This is a soul searcher. Okay, so someone's searching for medicines to possibly for their children, maybe. If you do have children that are that have some kind of ailment, then someone is also seeking on the internet possibly for medication, for meds. But I'm also picking up on like herbal remedies as well as something extremely potent, a bit like CBD oil, right? Oil, because this is oil. Okay, so I'm picking up on, it's not, well, you don't want THC, right? But you want CBD or CBT oil, right? Okay, but, yeah, I don't know why I picked up THC. Sorry. But I think someone's looking for that, for oil. Or, oh, sorry. Some of you are like digging for oil, like you're like drilling. Someone's drilling someone. Now, some of this is I'm picking it up for an energy like someone's being drilled and it's going over and they're being told that they need to clean up their act or they need to sort something out. But I'm also picking up like, because this can be a drill sergeant that someone like is the boss for some of you. So I'm picking up that that was the boss for a lot of you that said something that is asking about why someone's wandering a lot or why they're taking medicines for something or okay, but I'm also picking up, sorry, I'm going to come off that one, picking up like oil, like digging for oil, and it's to do with an oil rig, or your partner drives an oil rig, or you're actually something to do with physical oil in the ground, or it's like herbal remedies of oil, right? That's really what I'm picking up. And you've got Leo again back here as well. But there could be someone, if they are suffering from possible... okay, so some people don't like the messages that come through, but that's here. If someone is like OCD or they have some kind of like behaviour, there could be messing around. I don't know why I heard messing around. But medicines that are taken for some kind of like mood swings as well. So it can also relate to a woman's period, maybe. Okay. Because 6 is like backwards and forwards and serving, like serving someone. Let's see. Continue on this reading, please. Why do I always come up with these? Sorry, Cancer, but every time I do your readings, it relates to medicines and drugs, and I really don't know why. And I can't seem to get off those messages when they start to come in. But there is a lot of medicines here, like, because I keep picking up like a medicine man or a chemist. So that's either that someone physically is a chemist, right? Because I'm picking up like Heisenberg, right? I've got no idea why. But Cronenberg, someone likes Cronenberg as well. But I'm picking up like Heisenberg, but I'm also picking up a chemist that someone has to visit a lot. And that someone could possibly be on tag. Now, if these messages don't relate to you, they don't. I don't want everyone to think, well, really? But I'm picking up like someone's on tag for something, like an ankle bracelet. And someone's on tag, and they have to go back to the... Oh, I don't know, because, sorry, but I've never been arrested. So, but what's that when you have an ankle bracelet and it goes on and you have to go and visit the... Yeah, but you go to visit the... I don't know what they're called. Sorry. But you go back to... parole office. Sorry, of course. Yeah, the parole. I'm picking up, like, citizens on the patrol or, like... wow, they're telling me a few messages now. Sorry. But patrol, but also neighbourhood watch. Some of you're relating to this as a neighbourhood watch. Because this person's definitely watching some kind of behaviour of... like, because I'm picking up something on the streets, because, oh dear, something's on the street, or someone's dealing on the street. Sorry, but when I channel, I get like loads of messages all at once, and I try to grab one message and stick with it whilst they're telling me another. So there is something to do with like neighbourhood watch, or feeling watched, that someone's constantly watching your behaviour. So if that is relating to this possible where someone did seek out medication for something, or there was like addiction in certain aspects, it feels like someone's always breathing down your back. And this could well be the parole office for some people, that there's a because now they're saying visitational rights also for children, that you might have to go back for visitational rights for your kids. If there is one, like the tagging system, you have to go back for visitational rights, or it is a visitation to prison. Or there are visitational rights where you're not with your partner, but momentarily you have this lapse in your energy where if you're not with your partner, that might be when someone starts to drink or use something, but then when you get back to your partner, they test you to see if you've actually drank or if you've actually had anything, because this is a test. Okay, so you are being definitely physically put to the test. Okay, so then that might have caused this argument that someone is saying to you, in order for us to be in a relationship, and if we have children together and you want to be a stable partner, but this can be you Cancer that's saying it to the person, if you want to be a stable person in our lives for this child here, okay, that you need to do a random drug test. This can be a random drug test for someone I'm picking up, okay? If it isn't, and you're not on that timeline, then this could well be the fact that you go to the parole office, or that you're getting medication from the doctors or something. Sorry, Cancer, but they're really making me stick with this same story again for you guys. Okay, so there you go. So that is the parole office. That's definitely the officer. There's an officer there, parole office, and this would be a court appearance. And it's like, if you don't go to the parole office, you'll go to court. And this would be the judge as well, because you've got like a judge and jury. Judge, jury, and during the war. Sorry, but that's a granddad as well. I'm picking up like a granddad. Someone, I think the parents are now, they're saying, is something to do with someone's just become a granddad. It's just become a granddad. Those for the people that have just had a baby, because the child has just been born, okay? And someone's now physically looking after their health because the baby's here. But I think that they may be getting very aggressive and snappy because of that also, maybe vice versa, flip it, I don't know. But then because of that situation there that caused like an argument and a momentary lapse of reason, you or the other person could be playing each other off, meaning, well, we don't live together, but when we don't, I find it very difficult to be able to keep up, like possibly not drinking or not taking a substance that helps me get through this. But if they find out about it, I have to tell them. And I think that some of you, that's what's caused this argument. Okay. Now, a lot of you, they're still telling me about this momentarily lapse of reason, where there was a lapse that someone might have done, and it caused someone to physically not trust the other person. Because I think that it's possibly happened before, and you can go through that with addiction, is that the most important thing of addiction is not becoming clean, it's actually getting on with your life and then having to deal with society that doesn't trust people anymore. And then you have to build up the trust with people. And it can take a very long time, okay? It really can. Trust me, because I used to be a counsellor. So it's very difficult for people to get back into society, because society, sometimes they feel like they're not wanted in society. And that can cause someone to lapse again. And they go through a momentarily lapse of reason because they feel they don't fit in anymore. And it's just an old way of living and believing not in yourselves to believe that you can physically start to move forward. Sorry, Cancer, I'm not lecturing people, but I'm really picking it up through this reading. Okay, so if you are going through that, I do offer Skype calls and I can kind of like support people through that. But there is a lot of like distrust I'm picking up, because I did just quickly look at the Seven of Swords. There's a lot of like backwards and forwards. It's about trusting society and believing in it again and believing in people, but it's really about believing in yourself that you can do it. That people won't physically say that you can or whether you can't. It's more about what you're going to think within your own self to be able to accomplish that. Okay, but a lot of you are not going to be watching this for that. Some of this is digging for oil and money. Someone is digging for information and money as well, but they're also possibly doing it for a court appearance where someone's trying to find out about what's happened with the family and how they can pull it back together, but they might have to go to court, because this can be, or I'm also picking up that someone feels as if they're actually physically on the street now, or that they could be on the street, and that they might have to seek shelter, because this is seeking shelter and also seclusion. Okay, so there's like, I need to seek shelter and protection and seclusion. I think someone is definitely going through like because this is a charity as well as what I'm picking up. A charity organisation. Continue this reading, please. From the 15th until the 31st. Cancer, Sun, Rising and Venus from the 15th till the 31st. Cancer, Sun. But I will bring this back for you guys as a normal reading. You know, but I can't really do normal, sorry, but I can't, I channel, and that's just the way I read. Continue on this reading, please, for Cancer, Sun, Moon, Rising and Venus, from the 15th to the 31st. So we've got one. So this is a court appearance as well, a lot of you. This is a doctor's appointment. 6, 7, 8, 9. Again, you've got another 9, and that's there. The 9 of the 9 is looking after one's health, making sure that someone's physically able and fit as well. Okay. There's study as well. Someone's really trying to work on themselves and trying to work on something, but they're. I feel like it's. I mean, it's. This is stuck within a triangle of drama. You know, there's a lot of dramaticness around someone as well. There's love, obviously the Queen of Cups. But it feels like this King and the Queen, I mean, they're counterparts of not the same suit, but that would more likely be coming up for your Sun, Moon, Rising and Venus. Please make sure you check that. Okay, but this King and this Queen is here. So there's love, but there's also a lot of like someone's like ooey gooey, soft and chewy, a bit like what Mike says, right? But there's also someone that is like, they can open up, but they can also find it very difficult to open up as well, okay? very difficult to open up. That they will be there and they will be caring and nurturing, but sometimes to get the feelings going, it can just be very restrictive to actually open the king up. Okay? So I'm really picking this up as a court appearance for a lot of you. This King of Swords, and this here is an ongoing battle of stuff that's gone on within the family here, of control as well, of a lot of you if you're going through it, because this 9 and this Emperor here, they can be both very controlling, strong characters of energy. Okay? And you do have the King of Swords here as well. And if these were in reverse for you guys, that would be a lot of control. But so basically what I'm saying is you've got a lot of strong characters in your life. So some of you are seeking a new job and looking. So I just had job seekers. Okay, so I don't know if a lot of you in Britain, we call it job seekers allowance. Okay, someone's seeking family allowance, but job seekers allowance is in Britain where they will give you an allowance until you get a job, and they will help you, and you can use their computers, and they will dig for jobs, and there's plenty out there. And then you get a job, but meanwhile they'll support you with transport, clothing, housing, accommodation, all that kind of stuff. I mean, that's the accommodation, that's the economy of Britain. But solidarity, right? We all stand together, but also apart, and people moan they have to support others, and it's a complete mess. But that's also the NHS. So, but there's like, because I'm picking up like NHS. But I can't relate that to people in different countries. Seeking support basically for clothing and that kind of thing is really what I'm picking up. To be able to support oneself to get them back into society properly. Okay? But I'm picking up like seeking some kind of like legal help for someone. But this can also be seeking a doctor's, because this is a doctor's appointment for sure. Okay? And this is going to not the Queen, but this is going to the King. So this could be like a serious kind of like medical condition that someone's really got to go like up in the doctors. They've got to go through the cool. What am I picking up? Like this would be see, this could even be a rehabilitation centre, because this person would be the person that owns the whole lot. They own the whole lot. Something also now is coming through with this will, or this certificate of oil, or what do you call them? Certificates of paper. They're not money, but they're bonds. Bonds, thank you, bonds. Something to do with bonds and shares, and someone's... now they're telling me different things. Just hold on a second. Bonds and shares of money, okay? And it's being distributed, and it might have to go to court, because it was something to do with oil or land. Okay, someone's land. But when I say oil, I'm picking that up more to do with like, it might not be physical oil, but it's to do with that part of America where would that be? I don't know. Sorry, I don't know my... But something to do with oil, digging for oil or digging for money, or heritage and inheritance as well, from families that have passed on, because this could well be going to like the High Court. This is the Crown Court in Britain. Is called the Crown Court. This is the highest court that you would go, because this would go to the Crown Court. Okay, so someone's like taking this to the Crown. Wow, yeah, I'm picking it up. The Crown Court. Someone has a Crown Court appearance of wondering whether they're actually going to go back to prison. If someone was, they've got to... Well, no, you wouldn't go to the Crown Court to see if you've got to go back. So this hasn't happened. Right? So someone's waiting on that, of that they might have to go to Crown Court. So someone's been put on tag. Yeah. Someone has possibly been put on some kind of system, and they're in the system, or they're on tag. Okay? Now, if it's either the computer system for something, and they're in the system, or they're on tag, or it could be both, and that there's a court appearance waiting to go to the Crown Court, and this is the appearance of the Crown Court, that there will be witnesses that are called upon to actually say something, because these people are going to have to stand up and say something. Yeah. If this is really relating to you, Cancer, please can you make sure that you leave a comment and a like and share, all that kind of stuff really would support me. But I'm really picking up those messages. So let's do a Crown Court. Cancer, Sun, rising of Venus. That's just so I don't know that I'm going crazy or feel like I'm going crazy when I'm hearing all this stuff in my head. I don't know any. I've never really spoke to another medium that kind of like. But yeah, like personally, let's see. Cancer, Sun, rising of Venus. Show me more to Cancer from the 15th until the 31st of January. Cancer, Sun, rising of Venus. So this Emperor also would be the stuff that happened. Cancer, Sun, rising of Venus from the 15th until the 31st. 15th to the 31st. Cancer, Sun, rising of Venus. Any more messages, please? Thank you. So there you go. So you're definitely going to get, well, any more messages? Yes. Any more messages? Yes. It feels like someone shot the sheriff. That's the first thing that I just came up with. Someone shot the sheriff. Or the sheriff. Something to do with the sheriff's office. Or the chef. Or the chef. I don't know why I'm picking up chef. This is a cook as well. Oh, we're going into Heisenberg again. Sorry. That's not for everyone. But the cook. Or someone cooks. They serve people food. This is at a restaurant. Sorry, I'm getting some very strange messages coming through just by one more card appearing up. This is like a server. Someone serves things, okay, to a restaurant, or they want to own their own restaurant, and they want to own their own company and their business, but they're going to have to ask the bank for a loan. Someone is asking for a loan as well. Someone's going to ask you for a loan if you can loan them some money. For some of you, that is you that is physically asking the bank for a loan. This is a bank. Okay? And someone's going to possibly ask for a loan to own your own company, whatever that would be, but also to own your own restaurant. And this would be a fast food restaurant. Sorry. But you're going to get news about that fast. Okay? But also now through someone they're saying that passed for some of you. Where that would be news of a will, which was the drill and the oil. But there would also be something to do with that with a will. Okay? Or the name Bill. But sorry. But the will. There's a will. And you're possibly going to get news about that the court now have the documentation that you were seeking legal advice for, that you possibly seek legal advice, but the news is just come in. The news is just coming in about that. Okay? That the court now have it. Sorry, they're telling me loads of stuff. Someone caught something as well. Oh, that they have to go to the doctors for. Because this is like catching some kind of ailment or something as well. I mean, this could be an STD. You know, it could be. Sorry, Cancer, but listen, I'm telling people's lives across the internet, you know. So that's what people come to a tarot card reading for, right? So that won't be for everybody, but there could possibly be some kind of like, well, because they're showing me those now Scientology things. Scientology? Oh dear, that's not a very good Scientology, right? That was a satanic thing, wasn't it? Scientology, yeah. Whoa, Scientology. That's like the, wow. Scientology is the cult, right? But they're not great cult, not spiritual cult. That's the, like, what was that we was trying to talk? We were saying that Scientology, and I was trying to come up with the other one. Wow, what was that? Yeah, it's like the eye, right? The symbol of the eye. There's one that's called Scientology, and then the other one is called it's like not the mafia, but it's where Angelina Jolie and all those people got signed up to that thing, and it's terrible. But I'm picking up, I don't know why, but I'm picking up on Scientology, right? But I'm picking also up on science, like these little bottles of some. Oh God, this is going into drugs as well. But for some of you, it's not. This is to do with those little sample plates where they put products inside it to see if there's like green. I'm seeing like green and it's Illuminati. That was the thing. Thank you, the Illuminati. But the science thing where there's like they put it under a microscope. The Spy here, Page of Swords, was to do with a microscope for some of you, and it went under the microscope, and this was news from the courts or the doctors, and someone's illness is going under the microscope to look at their blood, and this is blood, and this is blood. Thank you. This is also blood as well, because this is Nine of Wands. So it's to do with someone's blood group, their blood group. Someone also pregnant. Oh, sorry, I'm going to have to stop. Someone also, there was a pregnancy, and someone seeked about pregnancy to go on the pill or the coil or something. Okay, and they have to have their blood checked for something. And this might be happening like, well, with the kids. And for some of you, this is your chill. Oh no, I'm staying out of that one. Sorry, Cancer. Sorry, I'm not going into people's lives like that. I don't know if you want to hear those messages or not. But that will only be if you know, okay? So we're going to go on with the rest of the reading, and we'll find it over on Patreon, guys. Thank you very much for the support if you are joining Patreon. I really do appreciate it. Okay, the reason why I do Patreon is because it supports me in order to be able to keep doing it as well. So it does help me, but physically for that money you get access to all of the readings. The reason why it is a little bit pricey maybe is the fact that by the time I get taxed by Patreon and also PayPal, I don't get too much left. Okay, because I live in the UK and it's British pounds, sterling now. Okay, so if you want to see all of the other readings and the rest of this reading too, we're going to go through more cards, channel some stuff, and then clarify them, okay? But you can find this over on Patreon. If you want a personal reading, you can also reach out from the link below and join any of the multimedia sites that I also have everywhere in the description box below, Cancer. Thanks very much for your time. I really would appreciate a thumbs up if you can. Also hit the bell and like, share, and subscribe, all that kind of stuff. I really would appreciate it. Okay, all right, Cancer, thanks very much, and I'll catch you again soon.